right above Mexico. There's a spot that's in Mexico still, or Arizona. It like tails, and that's where it is. They go scorpion hunting. I learned through this conversation. They invited me out. Here are our ideas. And again, I'm going to end this here, and then I'm going to let these guys talk about their experiences starting a club fresh in their buildings, unedited, whatever. We do have some corporate sponsors that are coming online, but nothing major. We are asking if you have a rich uncle whose last name is Hines. I would love for them to come talk to me. I will help clean their conscience really quickly. All right. Lastly, so as of end of 2019, we had 48. Now we're at 64. We're trying to get to 5,000 by the end of the year. This is RC. I delivered 5 to El Paso School District, where they're delivering them out to their schools. This is why I'm doing it. Right? And so, without further ado, I'd like to, before we get back to this, I'm going to give these guys from Elwood some time, Keith and Rob, just 10 minutes or so if you have time. How much time are we? Am I like super long? Or? How much time do I have? Oh, we're not going to go the full thing. But I want to turn this into a conversation at the end because I want to show you the framework which I wrote for you. And I want to say, here's what legalizes it. Right? Nobody can tell you no, except for their board of ed. They told them no. Here you go. Go, yeah. You guys go.
I could talk for hours about this. I'm trying not to. Those who know me know that's probably impossible. Now, we met Josh last year at PTC in Hershey. I sat in the meeting, and 30 seconds into the meeting, I knew there was something I needed to know. And that I was in the right place, and Rob was in another session. And by the time we were done with rock, paper, scissors, I texted Rob and said, get over here right away. And we sat through the meeting. It just kind of caught the vision right away. And that's what I hope you do, is catch the vision right away of what he's saying. That socially awkward, socially active thing is just simply amazing. And that's what I hope you get. In my story, the short of it, I came across a kid in the hallway one day, and he was obviously upset and making noise and things like that. My instinctive action as a teacher was to, reprimand him and say, hey, what's going on, and yell at him and take him out of the office. Fortunately, something else kicked in that morning, and I said, what's going on? He was struggling in math. He's one of those kids that everybody knows we have trouble with, and push him along, get him out of the way, that kind of thing. Go down to the office. Took him down to the office. He was really upset. Took him to guidance. They talked to him for a little while. I talked to the principals, and I said, I got to owe that kid. You get that on some, owe that kid, yeah. So this is a kid, didn't like school, didn't do well in school, low on the IQ, those kind of things, special needs, and he was really struggling. And what I saw that day is nobody was listening to him. Nobody was hearing him, that he wasn't getting whatever it was that was going on. And it was and he knew he wasn't getting it, and that was hurting him. And so, kind of, you get in that situation, sometimes you develop a rapport with someone. I never had him in class, but it happened to be the one class he was really struggling with, which was math. I had, it was my prep, so I would take a walk, it was on my floor, kind of walk by, look in the room, just give him a thumbs up, that sort of thing, check in on him. Anyway, so this goes on. He comes to me one day, and this is a kid, doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to be in school, doesn't want to participate, wants out, that sort of stuff. He comes to me one day, 2 falls ago, and says, I want to start a video game club, will you help me? It's a 9th grader. What am I going to say? I said, of course. So I sponsored a number of clubs over the years. I never started one, so I wasn't quite sure of the process. So I reach out to the person that coordinates that, and I get, this isn't something we really want to do right now, etc. I didn't ask for money, I didn't ask for help or anything. I just kind of wanted to get the process and understand what I needed to do to start a club. We have enough clubs, etc. So ended up at PTC shortly after that. Sat in Josh's session, said, oh my God, this is what I got to do. Got super excited. Rob came, got super excited. We went back to school. In the back of my mind, this is just isn't going to fly. They're not going to like it. And we put a pretty decent proposal together. Neither one of us asked for any compensation, no stipends. We just wanted to help a kid like that do something. And we got, when you passed the first administrator who's in charge of the club.
I'm jumping in on this point. They sent me an email, what do you do about this? And And I said, after reading the email, the rejection email, I said, your problem is the person has the stigma approach to it. They're just, you run into a brick wall.
So the idea, and that's exactly what I want to take, is that the people hear video game and they think, you know, unproductive, not productive time, nothing. And we try to explain this whole, like the version of what you just heard about the socially awkward, socially act, like getting, you know, the kids we were targeting, you know, basically the kids that don't go to clubs. You know, we have our clubs a couple times a month. There's a lot of kids that don't go to clubs, and they're in the halls, they're in the bathrooms during that time. You know, everybody, you know, kids, they find a reason to get out of the room they're supposed to be in, and they're somewhere else, and some of them getting in trouble. These are the kids we were going to target. These are the kids that are doing this. So we couldn't get past the first hurdle. We kind of got some, you know, go ahead and kind of do it. See, you know, kind of on the side, in the background, partner up with another club. That person didn't want to kind of get in trouble. So we kind of ended up in a situation where we weren't quite sure how to proceed. And take it over.
So everything he told you, yeah, that's straight up, you know, dead nuts on. Talked to Josh, and bottom line is, I decided, okay, chances are, all they saw was video in the word, and there was video game not in our school. My argument was, wait, you're telling me they have too much screen time? We just went 1-to-1. The board said, great idea. I downloaded everything. I downloaded and
The one in the middle is a 1-to-1 framework. So
absolutely. I downloaded everything. Every single PDF, made sure that everything was documented, everything was highlighted. I sent it off to the administration. I sent the website. I sent the Facebook. I sent the videos. I sent, you know, the Twitter feed. Okay, on how this is going to make a difference. As Keith pointed out, I mean, obviously, you know, I run the history club at Lincoln. Okay, we decided we'd volunteer for this. It was going to cost the district nothing. We explained to them. I said, read the framework, read the book. All right, take a look at his speech where he says, I don't do anything. It's up to the kids. It's their club. I'm just the coach. Okay, go play. Playtime in the school was going to be absolutely slim to nil. Why? Because it's all about getting outside, going. I mean, he could tell you about, you know, where the restaurants are donating.
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings.
There it is.
We're part of the Buffalo Wild Wings on Wednesday nights. I'm about to finalize this nationally with Buffalo Wild Wings, so it's not official. They've sent me the logo for my jerseys though, so that should tell you something. So Buffalo Wild Wings on Wednesday nights nationally is allowing video game clubs to come in and hook up their gaming systems to the TVs, jump on the Wi-Fi, and hang out. And you want to talk about bucking the system? When you see dudes in flannel walk in and are like, what the hell are all these video games doing here? This is a sports place. It's eye-opening and it's just, this Wednesday night we have, and I'm going to add to this, literally this Wednesday night is our second annual Mario Kart tournament at Buffalo Wild Wings in Chambersburg. This is what we're doing this Wednesday night. And this is going to finalize the deal because the district managers and all those people are coming to this to actually see 2 high schools and 2 middle schools literally just play video games. But what are they doing while they're there? They're buying food. They're eating. They're socializing. They're having a good time. And here's the thing. I've done this so many times before I ask them that they can track every time I'm there what happens to sales. Plus $3,000 in sales. Plus $2,000 in sales. And well, what's happening on these Wednesday nights? Video game clubs are showing up. And they're like, the people are wowed by it. Because again, these kids don't get the attention normally. You know, I could talk about it. Go, sorry.
It's already done. This is your shtick. The bottom line is, we were truly blessed to have the meeting last year with him. He said it best. We were driving home. He goes, this is the first time I've gone to a convention and felt excited about returning to school with something. And then, quite frankly, honestly, to be, you know, I'm not going to say defeated because I refuse to use that word, but disappointed. Because most of the meetings he and I have gone to, most of the emails that he and I have had have all been for this week, some sort of game theory motivated, we're going back with more information. We already have it kind of sort of on the QT, do it on the down low. All right, I don't want money, he doesn't want money. Last year at the PSSA, after the testing was over, you know, boom, I opened up my room, hooked up the weed to the overhead projector, put it on the smart board, it was standing room only. I had kids were angry that they were not in my class taking the PSSA because my kids in the afternoon were playing games. They were Wii tournaments. I mean, eventually the teacher next door couldn't take it anymore. She came over and said, I demand, all right, a dance-off right now with her. And the next thing I knew, there was this teacher, language arts teacher, going up against this little Lexi, all right, doing a dance-off. It was fantastic, all right? Nobody came to see it though. They were too busy with test coordination. They were too busy with test administration. I mean, the test was over. After that, I mean, they boxed it up, they put everything away, they shred all the issues. Exactly. No one came. So he and I decided we're not going to be deterred, we're not going to be defeated. And I want to give that message to you before I'm finished, and you can ask any questions of myself, Josh, or Keith. Don't be defeated. Don't be discouraged. It can happen. And yes, I still have the gaming unit, and I still use the gaming unit in class. The kids know. I'm telling them, look, we're going to take this test. We have a double. We have first period reading and then second period lab. We're going to take this test, all right? We're going to knock this test out of the park. Then you get it. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, the motivation and the kids. No one expected little Lexi, whose nickname is now Pins. All right? Her nickname is now Pins. Nobody expected little Lexi, who never said boo to a bug, always in the back row, always waiting to be that kid that everybody's like, yeah, she's the only one left. All right, I picked her for my team. To be the Lincoln High School Wii bowling champion. That's why I sent it to him, and he goes, I love it. Do me a favor. Contact her mother. Make sure it's okay. He goes, contact her mother. Make sure it's okay. Saw her mother the very next day at one of the local grocery stores. She goes, that's him. I can hear her. That's him. I'm like, hi, Pins. He does call you Pins. Oh, yes, here's what happened. Oh, I know all about it. She came home, she couldn't stop talking about it. Well, about that, would it be okay if I sent the picture I took of her holding up the Video Game Club of America console to the founder? Because he would love to put it on the webpage and Facebook. And she goes, absolutely do it. Please, with my blessing. Contacted him, it's up there now.
Girls gaming is something I push.
Amen.
I push girls gaming. I push it personally for my daughter, who's 10 years old, and she plays League of Legends competitively. And she's very, very, very good. And she asked me, Dad, how come there are no pro League of Legends girls?
Yeah.
And I said, because it's too much of a toxic environment. That lots of girls can't handle the boys being toxic. Toxic is a word you should learn. If you're in esports, you've heard of toxicity. It happens, and it's sometimes out of control. And so girls, and then society also demands differently of girls in middle school. You gotta put that makeup on. You can't be a gamer. So girls gaming is super important to me. And then we're gonna get to this, and we're done.
We're done. Yep.
Education. There should be some lessons learned, I guess. So, just want to get back to the student that I was talking about. So when he came to me with the video game club, he came to me with a piece of paper and he asked me for my signature. Now there was nothing else on that piece of paper. Just asked me for my signature.
Sign off on blank?
Yeah.
Yeah, so sure, I was excited. And I'm like, well, then through conversation, he had gone to the principal. They said you need, start a, he went to find out what he needed to do to start a club. They told him he needed 1 or 2 teachers to sponsor. We needed to have our signature on the application. That was his effort. A blank piece of paper. If I signed it, he would take it back down and they would approve the club. And so the short of that is, you need to write something up for me. This kid who probably never wrote a paper in his 9 years of education, his 9th grader, wrote something. Of course, it wasn't Shakespeare. He wrote something that he could write and explained it, and then I signed off on it. And another teacher, but this is a kid who probably has never written anything, wrote something. And then the other end of this, the school wound down last year. Seniors, they came to me. They wanted to have a video game tournament. I have a video production class too. We broadcast live stream to the school, announcements, things like that. They wanted to use the equipment. I've never set it up for video gaming, and I had some of the gear we needed, And I said, well, you gotta get it approved. So I went to the principal. He wanted more information. And so I had the kids do the same thing. They needed to write it up. They needed to give me something. I wanted something in writing. They needed to present it to the principal. I didn't present it. They went down. I had the students go and talk to the principal. So now they're talking to the principal. They wrote up a report. They explained what they were going to do, how it was going to run. They explained how they were going to maintain order in the classroom. That blew me away. Like while they were filming, they weren't going to let it get out of hand. Kids were going to have to be responsible. If they had classes, they were going to have to be. I mean, they wrote up a set of rules that they were going to follow, and they did. Okay? And the kids did that. Then, okay, you got to figure out how to make the equipment work. Here's a pile of equipment. You guys got to figure, because they wanted to stream it. So I gave it to them and let them, and they did. They sat down, they figured it out. They brought in some friends that knew how to do things or whatever. Put their heads together. You know, we made sure the day before everything was working. You know, and the kids did that. You know, and so there is, you know, beyond the scope of video gaming, there is educational value. This has a purpose, this has a place, and this reaches those kids. So
if you're interested in starting your club, I know my time's up and I'm like running over, right? You're just starting a club at the very top, you'll see clubs. If you have a club already, we're forming a national registry. I just want to see how many clubs are out there. Join VGC USA Hive, and I'll give you a number, and you just happen to hang out. So it's all here. You would have clubs, but if you need to apply for, it's not working. Okay, thanks. If you need a starter kit, you need one of these. You jump an application, you fill it out. I send you a box. Now that all depends on how fast I can find them, because I do have to find them. These aren't for sale anywhere. I have to get on Facebook. I have to second Charles. There's lots of this out there. This is it. And the last thing I'm going to show you is the actual framework. And this is all. Now there's a one-to-one version, and there's a Nintendo Wii version. This is the Nintendo Wii version. They're all based on CASEL standards. In case you know what CASEL standards are, CASEL standards are globally recognized social emotional learning standards. Self-awareness, self-management. This is what we're working towards. And then this is the PA version. So Pennsylvania, I don't know if you know this or not, but Pennsylvania had an actual curriculum. Well, here are all the numbers, here are all their questions, and that's what you're working towards. So if you were to walk into your principal with this document, it's geared for the state. These are the state's words used against them to start a club. No principal can tell you no, because you're just doing what the guidance department is supposed to be doing. Do you know what I mean? So if you need that, and then what happens is at the bottom of it, and again, this is all fluff and it looks like super pro status, right? I mean, it's like intimidating looking, this thing. It's 50 pages long. But then what happens is I get to this, the most important page is right here, how to start a club, and then, you know, literally ask your kids if they want to start a club. They will say yes. I mean, that's everything. And then finally, these are your teachable moments. So I sat down, I started listening when I said, you know what I'm missing? I'm missing the examples. At any moment in time, I can talk to any one of my kids about knowing when to take a break from a game, or discussing how to deal with the online community to play safe. That's digital citizenship. Learning how to balance gaming and life through discussion. Let's have how much time are you actually playing? Like, is that healthy for you? Oh wait, now I'm having mentorship. And this is what I'm getting at. You have an amazing opportunity if you just use gaming. Now this is the Nintendo Wii version. I also have, if you scroll down some more, like here's a Mario Kart tournament. Everything a Mario Kart tournament would go at. How to run it. Here's Smash Brothers. Here's Super Mario. These are all games you can get. Here's Uno. Like if you have a deck of Uno cards. Here's I think Go Fish is next. Oh, Just Dance is one of our standard games we send. Just Dance. Again, Go Fish. You're telling me a person will tell you not to play Go Fish with your kids? And that's what I'm getting at. So I also have a one-to-one version of it. Instead of Go Fish, it's Dominations, the game. Big, huge games, Dominations. World history. It's Clash Royale. There are these games that are out there that are free right now you can use to connect kids, because what you do is you play me versus you. And you know what I mean? So there's a one-to-one version of this, specifically designed on an iPad, and some Chromebooks I hear have touchscreen. Is that true? Mm-hmm. So if you have that one, then you can do the one-to-one. If you don't, And both links are in. Like if you go to the one-to-one one, it'll give you the link to the store. Here's the dominations in Apple. Here's the dominations in. It's all there for you, and it's free. Again, free. You know what I mean? So like that's my. And they may have any questions. And I know it's like there's lunch and you smell it, and you know, is it free today? By the way. All right, it was good yesterday. I was pleasantly surprised. All right. Any questions on anything at all? Anything I can do better? Like, what am I missing? If you want to think about this, if there's an opportunity you think I should go talk to somebody else, please push me forward. That's how it works. Is this a question or is it? Yeah.
I just have a comment.
Sure.
I'm a high school librarian and we teach a lot of games in
Yep.
the library for social emotional
Mhm.
cognitive. So whenever I'm going to launch new games, I never call it games. I just call it social collaborative brain activity.
There you go. Yeah. That was the roar thing yesterday. Same idea.
Admin just speaks stuff.
Yeah. It's the fancy words, right?
Yeah.
It's rich and powerful. How many people have rich and powerful are the ones I always say, this is so rich and powerful. And I go, oh God. You're okay. Rich. Yeah, if you're an administrator, don't use rich and powerful. Your underlings will laugh. Okay, just so you know. It's the last year I did a buzzword bingo on the card. It had it was like you flipped over and you were like bingo, like we used to call it bullshit bingo when you're sitting in a meeting, and you were like, oh I got it, I got all 5 in a row. They said the buzzwords. I did that with the talk last year, but it's gone too far. I couldn't work it in. So if you were coming for that, I'm sorry. But anybody have any questions? Yes.
Yeah, question. Something you said in the beginning was that this is happening during the school day.
Mm-hmm.
Is that generally when you go out to all those different sites? That's generally what they do. It's not.
It's up to the school. I'll be honest. It's up to the school. It's up to you and your school.
What that ratio is? Is it like I'm thinking like after school might be a good gateway to like get this into the building.
Yeah, and that's where you start. Yeah, you're right. The hearts. If you already have an activities period hooked up, it's really easy. But if you don't, then you go, okay, we're going to do an hour after school once a week. One of my middle schools is in Chambersburg, does theirs after school. My son's in it. It's on every Tuesday after school until 4:30. So I pick him up after school. And it's smaller when you do it that way, but you're still reaching kids. So it is what it is. Yeah, in the back. Question? Oh, no. If you have anything, I have all my information here. Please drop me an email. If you know of anybody I should talk to, or you're like, I was thinking about whatever. I'm at the point, the goal for me this year is to find actual funding to make this go enormous. That's the goal. Yes, ma'am.
So in the beginning you said that you have like 120 kids or something.
I do, yeah.
So when do you see all of those kids?
No. Because a lot of them have things to do during our meeting times. So, some of them are like, I got a paper I got to work on, I can't go today. I'll just drop by later and say hi. It's just about creating the safe space so people can find each other. My son walked in and saw it and was like, okay, here are the 12 kids that I know I can hang out with. So when I see him in the hallway, he's hanging out with them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, I've been in his class.
Oh, yeah.
The kids literally do run the club. I mean, he and I are just standing there talking, and they take charge right away.
Yeah, they do it all. They set the schedule, and we have like official meetings once in like every 2 or 3 meetings where it's like there's an agenda. We do through Schoology groups. I have a group in Schoology and the kids post. And I know I'm taking much of your time. Maybe it's dead. I would have showed you a Schoology post here. I jump in Schoology. I'm not connected to it. Never mind. You would see Miguel would have posted things for everybody else to see. It's just a group, and you just go. All right? Thank you for coming. You're wonderful. Thank you. 2:15, 2:30, I'll be out at the Innovation Station downstairs playing Mario Kart or Wii Bowling if you want to come. Hang out.
I went to senior school.
Hi, Josh.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Nice to meet
Davis.
you.
Nice to meet you too, yes.
Nice to meet you. What school are you in?
I'm at a private school.
Fine.
So we're not public, and the nice thing is I'm technically like the tech guru
Yeah,
at my
yeah.
school.
Yeah.
And my goodness, kids want to come in my classroom all the time.
Let's get out in the hall here. Real
Okay.
quick. Yeah, because I stay too long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, thank you guys. Seriously, thank you very much. I'm sure someone else will see you.
Yeah, so.
You guys do 11:45, then 11:30.
Oh, wow, okay, well, so we're good.
Yeah.
No, it's better to leave early. Yeah, I did see you without the dress that you have to wear.